Hi, and welcome to the Trucking Scribe. It's Esther. Today we're going to make these cute little ephemera holders with a freebie that I've got. This is just from a piece of scrapbook paper. I showed you how to make that one. And then I did show you how to make this freebie envelope that's a coin envelope that Samantha has. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. You can always, in the middle of the video, if you have a thought like me, just put it in there, and then that way you don't forget, because I forget. So sometimes if you got 3 or 4 comments from me, it's because I was putting comments in as I was watching the video. So I didn't, because I'm getting older. My brain don't work as well as it used to. But hope you enjoy the video. Thank you. So today we are going to make an ephemera holder. And we're going to look at these. But first I want to say a special thanks to all of these people. I missed this group of people in the last video, and some of them are returning viewers. But Lottie at Joining the Journey Cancerous, Pat at Crafting with Pat, and more. She's got great coloring channel, a great coloring channel. She does crafts, she does crocheting and puzzles. It's just wonderful. Go check her out. Rhonda at Junk Journal Diva. She is on my design team. So she is one of the ladies that's working with us on the Beauty of God. And there's Angie at Angela's Reviews. That's Angela. I'm sorry, Angela. And I can't spell today either. So there's Kitty, LMP Gambling, Pre-Retirement Days. She does cooking. Definitely go check her out. She does a lot of good cooking. And she has a fish pond. You can just listen to the water for over an hour. If water calms you down. Then Kitty again, Janie. Janie is also another collaborator on the Beauty of God this month. And then D Hawks. So then what I saw this morning that I answered replies to was Bert. So he's with Bert Beats. He does singing. He does a lot of live, so go check him out. Sandy's Home Recipe. She is another great cook. Karen. Then there's Rhonda again. She's Junk Journal Diva. Pre-Retirement Days. Janie and National Park Princess. Now, National Park Princess, she goes, and I love her channel because she goes and does hiking trips. And for people like me who can't get out in the weather as much, it's a way to see the beauty of the world, to see God's beauty in different places. So definitely go check her out. So what we're going to do today is we're going to make this sheet look similar to this. I got this idea from Amber over at Lyric Lovers. Let me make sure what her Lyric Lovers Crafts. She has the best crafts over there. So this was my second attempt, because I did video this one. And what I realized is trying to explain how to fold this right here was a problem. First, let me explain to you why this is upside down. So this is going to be folding forward. So technically this is this side with this down. So this is going to fold up. This is going to fold down. These are going to fold in. Now, I scored mine at 1 inch on each side. 1 inch across here, and up here I did 2. Amber used a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, and I encourage you to go definitely watch her video because she did great. She did 2 inches all the way around on hers. So you can use any kind of paper you want. You just decide. And this one I did design with an inch border right here so it would come out. So when I was trying to explain all these lines that you needed to score, I decided, well, if your paper prints out with that little white border, you won't be able to score this at an inch. You're not going to see this line or this line. You'll see this one right here. But you know, it'll be all right. It's almost the same color. I tried to get it close to the same color. So now here, you see a couple lines going on because I messed up when I was doing it. This here is the one that I want. And I'm just going to write that down. Same thing over here. We're going with this black line. And we're going to cut when we get to that point. First, we're going to score this. So if you score on this side, you line your lines up and just go down. Since I've already got them for you. So now if I scored on this side, I would just go to 1 inch, 10 inches, and score down. Then I would flip this, I would score it 2, and it's 7.5. So I'm sure you're wondering why I have these lines. Well, we want a mitered corner like this so that it folds up and there's not as much bulk. When I did mine, I got a little crooked. And then I got my ruler out, which didn't help a whole lot more. But see how they're mitered and they come together? So I decided what I would do is put these marks on here for you so you'd know exactly where to cut if you were cutting this. So you cut that off. We're going to cut this one off. So you got both sides right there. Then there's another mark. I'm hoping you can see it right here. There's one over here. These are supposed to be at 45-degree angles. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fold mine, so at least if I'm off on the angle, I think this one might be the better angle. So I'm going to have to check that too. So that's all I did was cut up to that fold line. And then I'm going to cut right here. So you get a little piece. Same thing over here. See, I was off a little if I got my corners straight. But you're not going to see that because what we're fixing to do is fold this over. Fold this up. So I'm going to take my corner rounder and I'm going to put around this corner. I'm going to fold that down. And I'm just wanting to crease this. I am using about 200 of these. I don't know why. I just did. So what we're going to do now is I want to measure this to where it will come all the way up to the top up there. You know, we're going to cut some of this off. So I want it right there. And what I'm doing is I want to make sure that this is straight. So you got a straight edge, which you have this one too. So my inside, I'm going to need to trim down just a little bit, not a whole lot. What I'm trying to do is just get this to where it will close. To see how it's just a tiny hair. This is all that I took off, maybe a 1/4 of an inch, a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this up against this bottom right there. I'll bring this over and bring this over and just make sure I'm in here right. Now I used this glue just because and I'm just putting it on here. And you can see I can't see all those lines that I put on there. I'm going to close that one up. And this one I want to go directly on top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the second piece and I'm going to match it up with the first. So right there. And what I'm going to do, because I'm not so sure that this will hold on the outside, so I'm going to go ahead and put some art glitter glue, which should turn clear. I'm just doing it along that edge, the main outside edge. So right in here, just for a little added security. And I'm also going to get the bottom down here. But the vellum is actually, the laminating paper is actually going to help to seal this. So I do want it down to the bottom right there on both sides. There we go. So we're going to send this through, but we need to fold this down. So if you don't, it's going to get all wrapped around your laminator. And I know this how, because I did it. And I made several of these this morning. So you can get 2 pockets out of 1 laminated sheet. Okay, so you see this little bit right here that I've got. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to hold it up against it and kind of run it. I'm not even trimming. So one thing that I noticed is we need to open this up, because you see how it has that kind of not done. I'm going to send it back through. And that's because okay, y'all saw that? That's why we're not doing it that way. That's why I had this closed, because it was going the wrong way. So we're going to put it this way, but we do need this flap open, so we're turning it around the other way so we don't get all caught. And you can do this with any paper, scrapbook paper. You see how that cleared up and got better? I didn't want this window all the way up, so I decided, no, I want it kind of round. And I don't have anything but a bowl right now to do this, or plate. So I'm looking and trying to get this centered. I don't want it too far down. So I'm going to go right about there. And this is an erasable pen from Clover. I got it to make my jeans. So I'm just going to trim this out right here. And I'm trying to stay away from those 2 edges right here, because that's closed my thing. So now you can go and you can just fill it up with all kinds of stuff. You can put, okay, so right here, that's almost too short. So I don't need to cut it that low again. Yeah, so I might bring my bowl up a little bit further. So instead of right there, maybe I'd bring it up to maybe right here and just trim a little bit, not quite all of it. But I do like this. I can put just a little paper clip on it, and it don't matter that it's a little bit short. What I was going to show you real quick, this is just a piece of scrapbook paper. It's 8.5 by 6 1/4. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do 1 inch from this side. Well, you know what? Let's just start over here, 1 inch. And you don't have to do any math. So I do want my top to be 1.5. So I'm going to say this is going to be my flap. And I'm just going to keep turning. 1 and 1. Okay. If you have a ruler, you can measure. Do it on the other side so it won't be seen. You can measure up 2 inches. Let me see, is that going to be right? I think so. So right there, measure out 2 inches. Let me see. So if you don't have a squaring ruler, you measure from here in 2 inches because we need 1 inch plus another inch, and then you measure the same way from here up to here, and you match your points. You match this middle one, and you draw your line. And I'm a little bit over. My measuring is not good today. So over here I would do the same thing. 2 inch mark. 2 inch mark. And just go across. So like I said, you can't see this part right in here, so we're not going to worry about all that writing that I did. So right here, what I want to do, so I can kind of have even, because I don't think I want 45 degree, but I want a little bit of an angle. So I'm going to cut from here to my line. Right here, see my line? So here's one line, here's the other, and they meet right there. I just decided, well, this is how much I want, so I'm going to cut it to there. So then I'm just going to cut right here, this last little bit right there. So that's coming off. Same thing over here. Okay. I'm going to take my corner rounder and I'm going to round it. Like I am anyway. Just want to be on there. Okay. Then you just fold these up. Okay. So now I have some extra things over here. Let me use this little one. So again, we're just going to do the same thing as measure. This one fits in here just perfect. It's the right size all the way around. Turn it this way. You got the dull side up because that's the side that's going to stick to each other. Put that in there. We're going to take this and I'm going to glue the sides down one at a time. Then I want to make sure I'm not going over that because it's going to push it through. Then I want to come and put this, cut it almost all the way. I'll center it up on here. First I need glue. So then I'm going to take my second piece, which is just a little bit wider than the outside, and I'm going to put glue around this outside edge. Maybe a little right there. And the reason I'm putting glue around the outside edge is to seal it. And I'm going to put matte side down again. I want to fold that little flap down, which means I'm going to pull this down just a little bit more. And then I'm going to stick it in there, just like that. See how that, I shouldn't have done that. So leave yours long. Okay. I'm going to run it back through again. This time we'll just go this way. So here is my smaller one that we just glued and everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this 1 inch past. So this is my line. I'm going to cut it right here. This would make a good bookmark, especially if you glued it like I did and you got some left over. Okay. So this turned out really nice. We could put thumb notch right here. We could just draw from here all the way over. I don't know if my bowl will do it. Let's see. Actually, I think it will. Not that one, not this one. You got to hold everything. And I just went and found the bowl in the kitchen. No special plate. I don't know why I keep calling it fold. Okay. See if this one will do any better. Yeah, so see, this one's a little bit higher because I started a little bit further away. Actually, I need to trim this side just a little bit more. Okay. So then you can put stuff in here. Let's just throw these little pieces in and say that they're ephemera for now. Put some Velcro on there and you're good to go. Let's go ahead and put some Velcro on this one. I'm going to put that part up there. And I'm going to put the soft side on the other side. You've got a little pouch. I like that. Okay. I'm going to leave this about the 1 inch that I had it. And then over here, I did 1.5 on this so it wouldn't be quite so long. So you can see my cross lines. I'm going to take and cut a miter. You can measure, and on the one, I did put lines for it. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it over again. Seems to be the easiest way for me. And I don't want a straight 45, so I'm just going to do this to where both sides are cut at the same angle with no measuring. Fold that down. This is much thicker with the regular paper and then the scrapbook, or not regular paper, I think it was cardstock paper that I printed the white one on. So this one is a little bit too far. Where's it? No, I'm not far enough in. Okay. So I trimmed it up just a little tiny bit to get that working. Again, I'm going to round the corners. And we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to mark our inside right here. If I can get my pen working. I feel like my light is messing up today. And I want to mark up here. So you don't need to go all the way across on this one. You can make it shorter because you have these flaps coming down. And actually, I had it turned the wrong way. Okay. So I'm just going to take my little bit of glue and glue that down. I'm trying to cover my pen mark up. That's what I'm doing. Same thing over here. And this is making a really nice sturdy pocket. I was surprised when I put it through the laminator that it did this good. So again, I'm just going to put some glue on the edges. And the art glitter glue dries clear, so that makes a big difference too. Yeah, you could probably just about send these in the mail. So make sure your glossy side is up. This one doesn't have as much hanging over. I cut it a little bit shorter, which is okay too. I want this coming down just a little bit. And when I'm doing this, my paper is moving a little bit so that I can move that around. Just going to close it up and we're going to stick it in there. So while that is going, I'll show you real quick how to do an envelope here that Samantha has. So if you get a board like this, I have a 6-inch line marked with the black. You just lightly score it, especially if it's regular paper like mine is. And just continue flipping it and scoring it so you're lining up the line right there, this line right here. Then you just take and you fold these on those score lines like we've been doing for this envelope pocket. I'm going to trim this just a little bit, get that black off. You don't have to. Then with this, you just put some glue on this flap right here. You leave this one up here that's rounded because that's going to be your closing flap. You got these two flaps in. You're just going to bring this over. You know what I forgot that I like to do? I like to take my little thumb notch and poke and make a little notch right there so that it's easier to get into. And then you just close it up and you have a little envelope. So I did want to look at this. Maybe put the thumb notch there. Trying to think. Or do I just need to kind of curve it down? I don't have the right curve. It might be good for this one. Let's see. I want it a little bit higher. You know what? I'm going to do it this way. I know better, but let's try it. So I'm just going to try and cut a little bit just to give it a little bit of room. So today we made these really pretty envelopes, ephemera envelopes that I saw Amber at Lyric Lover Crafts. She did some similar. She used vellum for this part. I used the laminating sheets. They turned out really great. There will be a freebie in the Facebook group. I'm going to put it up in there. This is also a freebie from Samantha's kit this week, so I will get that up there. And then this one we just made from a piece of scrapbook paper that I had laying over there. I stuck some stuff in it and said, okay, this is it. So I did want to say thank you so much for being here, for coming and joining us. Definitely go check out the ladies that are working on this collaboration with me. Their links are below. They've got some really great ideas, so they'll help you out with some. It'd be great if you hit the like button, the subscribe button, and leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about these. They are so cute. I just did not expect them to turn out this good. So thank you very much, and I hope you have a great weekend.